Okay, see here in today's class we'll derive a radar range equation, basic radar range equation, that is a standard form of radar range equation. Before going to derive this equation, first I will explain what is the importance of deriving this radar range equation. Okay, what is the main function of radar system? The main function of radar system is detection and ranging, right? So here, how we analyze the performance of a radar system based on how we detecting the objects, based on how accurately calculating the range, right? So after by deriving this radar range equation only, we are analyzing the performance of a radar system. Okay, and based on this radar range equation, we are designing a new radar system, because based on these parameters only we are designing, we are choosing the elements called antennas, all other elements. Okay, so now I am deriving the equation for radar range. Okay, so see here, antenna is one of the most important element in a radar system. Okay, initially as here we are considering some assumptions, right? So see here, initially consider our antenna as an isotropic source. Okay, a source means transmitting end. Okay, source is at the transmitting end and load is at the receiving end. Okay, so see here, assume initially our source is an isotropic source or isotropic radiator, or you may call this as the isotropic antenna. Okay, so what do you mean by an isotropic antenna? The antenna which radiates its energy equally in all directions. Such type of antenna is called as an isotropic source or an isotropic radiator. Okay, what do you mean by directional antenna? Where directional antenna is nothing but the antenna which directs its beam in a particular direction. Okay, predefined direction. Okay, okay. Initially, they are using an isotropic antenna. Okay, what is the drawback with that isotropic antenna? Drawback is nothing but it spreads or it radiates its energy in all directions. Okay, the drawback is here efficiency, beam efficiency, that antenna beam efficiency is less, and by always we require narrow beam width in order to focus at targets. Okay, but with isotropic sources, isotropic radiators, it is not possible. So when you consider a directional antenna, it projects its electronic beam in a particular direction with a narrow beam width. I think already studied about antenna and wave propagation subject, so you have an idea about that narrow beam width, wide band width. Okay, wide beam width. Okay, instead when compared with the wide beam width, the narrow beam width is useful to focus a targets. Okay, so in order to derive this radar range equation, here first they consider an isotropic source which is having a power density PDI. So here PD is nothing but the power density and I is nothing but an isotropic source. And we know that what is the formula for power density? Power density is nothing but the total power transmitted by PDI is nothing but here the power density is nothing but at a distance R is given as ratio of power to area. See here, it is the formula for ratio of power to area. So what is the power? Power is PT, where PT is the total power transmitted by the radar transmitting antenna. By area formula is 4 pi r square, and call this as an equation 1. Initially, what we are doing in order to derive the radar range equation, we are considering an isotropic source, isotropic radiator, and we are considering the power density for that isotropic source or isotropic radiator. Okay, and it is denoted with the letter called PDI, where PD is the power density due to an isotropic radiator. Formula for power density is power transmitted to the area. PT is total power transmitted by the radar transmitting antenna. Area formula is 4 pi r square. Okay, now see where PT is the total power transmitted by a radar transmitter. Okay, this is the first assumption and this is called equation 1. Okay, what is our next assumption? But in this is an ideal case, but in practical case we require a directional antenna in order to improve the accuracy of the target detection. In order to focus accurately a target, we need a directional antenna. So in second assumption, consider a directional antenna. whenever you consider instead of a directional antenna, instead of an isotropic antenna, the power density due to the directional antenna is denoted with the letter PDD, where PD is the power density, D is the directional antenna. PDD is the power density due to directional antenna. And again that is given by, again, power transmitted by the radar transmitter by area, PTG by 4 pi R square. Okay, where here we are considering the directional antenna, means you need to consider gain of that directional antenna into an account. Okay, so PDT is given as PTG by 4 pi R square, where G is the gain of a directional antenna. Okay, this is second assumption and this is called a equation 2. Okay, coming to third one, a target radiates the power in different directions from the received input power. Okay, so whenever the radar antenna transmits a power towards the target, it is hit by the target and that energy is reflected in all directions, in different directions. Okay, the amount of power which is reflected back towards the radar depends on its cross section. Which cross section? Radar target cross section. And that radar target cross section is denoted with the letter sigma. And now we are considering that is also into a consideration. Okay. Now that is given as, see here. So see here, that is considered into an account PDE, power density, by considering this radar targets cross section. That formula is given as PDE is equals to PDD into sigma by 4 pi R square. Okay, where it is, where sigma by 4 pi R square is, we are considering radar cross section, radar target cross section into an account. So now it becomes PDE is equals to PDD into sigma by 4 pi R square, where we know that PDD is PTC by 4 pi R square. Now substitute this PDD value into this equation. Now it becomes PDG by 4 pi R square into sigma by 4 pi R square. Actually this equation is called as, equation 3. Okay, after substituting the value of PDD into this PDE equation, it becomes PDG by 4 pi R square into sigma by 4 pi R square, which is an equation 4. Okay. In next assumption, we are considering the received power. Okay, the amount of power received is denoted with the letter PR, and it depends upon the effective aperture of the receiving antenna. We know that concept in radar, in antenna and wave propagation, because the amount power received by the receiving antenna depends upon its effective aperture, right? That effective aperture is denoted with the letter AE. Now we are considering that into our concept. Okay, see here, where we can define, we have a relation in between effective aperture and received power is PR. The received power PR is equals to PDE into AE, which is called as an equation 5. Okay, where PDE is nothing but PDD into sigma by 4 pi R square, which is equals to PTT by 4 pi R square into sigma by 4 pi R square, and where the received power PR is given as PDE into AE, where you need to substitute this equation 4 into an equation 5 in order to derive the standard radar range equation. Okay, now see here, PR is equals to, what is PR? PR is equals to PDE into AE. What is PDE here? PTT by 4 pi R square into sigma by 4 pi R square into AE. Okay, so now PR becomes PTG sigma AE by 4 pi R power 4. Okay, or you can simply conclude that 4 pi square R power 4. Okay, so this is called an equation 6. So what is our ultimate aim in this radar range equation? To derive an equation for range, where that range is denoted with letter capital R. So from that previous equation, bring R power 4, then it becomes PTG sigma AE by 4 pi R square into PR. Now R is equals to PTG sigma AE by 4 pi R square into PR whole power 1 by 4, which is called equation 6. This is also called as a standard form of radar range equation. This equation 6 is called as the standard form of radar range equation. Okay. Okay. So, Seema, in order to derive a radar range equation, what parameters we are considering? Initially, we are considering antenna as an isotropic radiator. In that case, what is the power density? What is the formula for power density? Power density formula is the total power transmitted by area. So, PDI is denoted as the power density due to an isotropic radiator is equals to total power transmitted is PT by 4 pi r square. Area is 4 pi r square. In next case, we are considering a directional antenna that is denoted with PDD. PDD is equals to, in addition to the first equation, gain of the directional antenna is considered. So PTG by 4 pi r square. Okay. In third case, you are considering the radar target cross section, which is denoted with the letter sigma. Okay. In fourth case, you are considering the received power in terms of effective aperture, where received for PR is given as PR is equals to AE into PDE. Okay. So by substituting all those, here you are bring out the range term, where a capital R is range. Range is nothing but a distance between the radar system to a target. Okay. So this is the standard form of radar range equation. See here. So from this, by substituting here, maximum range of radar range equation. So where R is simply a range of radar range equation. So substitute in place of R. Substitute R is equals to R maximum, and PR is the received signal. Seema, here we are substituting in place of PR S minimum. Why we are substituting an S minimum? Because whenever received power is equal to S minimum, then only target is detected. That means S minimum is minimum detectable signal. So whenever the received echo power is equal to minimum detectable signal, then only the target is identified. Otherwise, it is not identified. Okay. So that's why we are considering R is equals to R maximum, PR is equals to S minimum. Now substitute these two things in equation 6, then it becomes R maximum is equals to PTG sigma AE by 4 pi square S minimum whole power 1 by 4. And this is called equation 7. And this represents the standard form of radar range equation. It's a very simple and it's very important question. I'm damn sure without this question, no question paper is there. Okay, out of 4 sets, I guarantee 3 sets this question is question will asked by the exam question paper asked by the university people. Okay, it is very important question. Okay. So it's very simple to derive this equation. What we are doing here, initially we are considering the isotropic radiator as an antenna. After that, considering a directional antenna. After that, radar target cross section is considered into account. After that, received power is expressed in terms of effective aperture and into PDE. Okay. After that, at final, you are substituting in place of R maximum, and in place of PR, you are substituting the S minimum. Why you are substituting S minimum means radar only detects the targets when and only the received power is equal to the minimum detectable signal. Okay. This minimum detectable signal is decided based on the threshold value. I will explain that concept later in later classes. Okay. Seema, here now today class is modified forms of radar range equation. Okay. Consider the standard form of radar range equation and substitute the formula for gain into the standard form of radar range equation, then it becomes a one of the modified form of radar range equation. It is a very simple concept. Consider standard form of radar range equation. In that standard form of radar range equation, we have PTG sigma AE na. So in that G, substitute the formula for G. What is the formula for gain? 4 pi AE by lambda square. We know this formula from antenna and wave propagation. Okay. So now substitute this gain formula into the standard form of radar range equation. You got the modified form of radar range equation. Okay. This is one form of modified radar range equation. And another form of equation 9 represents the modified form of radar range equation by using the above equation. Maximum range of the target. And you can express this thing in terms of effective aperture also by substituting AE formulas where AE is equals to G lambda square by 4 pi. Okay. So by substituting this formula into that equation, again it is another modified form of radar range equation. Okay. See, actually these are called modified forms of radar range equations. Okay. So these are the modified forms of radar range equations. Okay. So by using this equation 7, equation 9 and equation 11. Okay. Actually, initially we are deriving the standard form of radar range equation. In that standard form of radar range equation, simply we are substituting the gain formula. That means we are writing the radar range equation in terms of gain. Okay. And simply by writing an effective aperture formula in terms of effective aperture, you are modifying the standard form of radar range equation, then you are deriving the modified forms of radar range equation. That's it. Okay. Now see here, this is a problem based on radar range equation. See this problem. Calculate the maximum range of a radar for the following specifications. Here the peak power transmitted by the radar PT is equals to 250 kilowatts and gain of the transmitting antenna G is equals to 4000. Effective aperture of the receiving antenna is denoted with the letter A is equals to 4 meters square and radar cross section of the target sigma is 25 amps square and power of minimum detectable signal S minimum is equal to 10 power minus 12 watts. Okay. If you observe one difference here, always the transmitted power is high value and the received power is low value. It is in the watts of kilowatts or megawatts transmitted power, whereas the received signal is in watts or in milliwatts because the noise is going to influence the transmitted signal power. Okay. So that's why here the transmitted power is in kilowatts and the received signal minimum value is in terms of 10 power minus 12 watts. Okay. So what they are asking to calculate here, maximum range of R maximum. You need to calculate R maximum. So by simply substituting all these values into the standard form of radar range equation, which is nothing but R max is equal to PTG sigma AE by 4 pi square S minimum whole power 1 by 4. You can able to calculate the maximum range of radar equation. Okay. So all of you substitute these values into this equation, you may get the maximum range of radar equation. Simple substitution. And take this problem as an assignment. Calculate the maximum range of radar for the following specifications. Operating frequency is given, peak power transmitted is given, effective aperture is given. Here effective aperture is given, radar cross section of target sigma is given and S minimum is given. Again they are asking maximum range of radar equation. Okay. So with this the topic is completed, that is radar range equation. How many types we are having in radar range equation? Basically we have a standard form of radar range equation and modified forms of radar range equation. So standard form of radar range equation is nothing but actually that is nothing but what we derived by considering those assumptions. In that standard form of radar range equation, that is given as R maximum is equals to PTG sigma AE by 4 pi square S minimum whole power 1 by 4. This is the standard form of radar range equation. By substituting the formula for gain, that is one form of modified form of radar range equation, and another modified form of radar range equation is simply nothing. You are substituting the formula for effective aperture. Those are nothing but the modified forms of radar range equation. Okay. Next topic is radar performance factors. What are the radar performance factors? Which we are calculating the radar performance by using the radar range equation. You are analyzing the performance of a radar system, right? So what parameters are included in this radar range equation? All those parameters are called as radar performance factors because these are directly influencing the radar range equation. For example, SEMA, how my performance is analyzed as a teacher, how I am delivering the content, right? What is my task as a teacher? To deliver a good content to students. Okay, my performance as a teacher is analyzed based on how much content I am delivering to the students. Okay, how your performance as a student is analyzed. As a student, you need to learn all the topics delivered by the teacher, and you should prepare well for the exams. That's our task. Okay. As a radar system, what is activity? Its activity is detection and ranging. Okay. So by deriving the radar range equation, here we are analyzing the performance of a radar system, right? Is it clear? So now what are the radar performance factors? The parameters which are included in this radar range equation are called as radar performance factors. Okay, right? So all these are the radar performance factors. Where PT is nothing but the total power transmitted by the radar transmitting antenna. So this is directly proportional to R maximum. So in order to get the maximum range, you should keep PT value as high, and G also directly proportional to R maximum. So you need to put G. G is nothing but gain here. Gain value as high, and sigma value is also high, and effective aperture also high, because all these are directly proportional to R maximum. Okay. And you need to keep S minimum as minimum, because if you keep S minimum as at high level, that means S minimum is minimum detectable signal. If you capture this S minimum at 10 kilowatt, okay, but after traveling that signal, transmitted signal through a longer distances, it that power level, the power level of the transmitted signal is obviously decreased to watts level. If you keep that S minimum level at 10 kilowatts, no target is identified by the radar system. That's why it is inversely proportional to the R maximum. So it, always we are trying to keep this S minimum as a minimum value in order to detect the targets. Okay. So these are the radar performance factors. The parameter, each and every parameter which is included in radar standard range equation acts as a radar performance factors. So by keeping these parameters, by choosing these parameters properly, we can able to improve the performance of a radar system. Okay, right? I think you got the concept here. This is what I discussed in that slide. These points are nothing but. So next we will see the concept called, very important concept, minimum detectable signal. Okay, what do you mean by minimum detectable signal? The radar system able to detect the targets up to some minimum power level only. If the echo signal is below this minimum level, radar system is not able to detect the target. If the received echo signal power level is equal to or above this minimum power level, then radar system is able to detect the target, right? So that minimum power level is acting as here minimum detectable signal, S minimum. Okay, that minimum power level required to radar system required to detect a target. Okay, so that was acting as a minimum detectable signal here. Okay. See, I will explain that minimum detectable signal concept here by using this figure, schema. Actually, this is the typical radar echo signal. Actually, we are transmitting an electromagnetic wave towards the target, right? Okay, whenever that electromagnetic signal hits the target, that re-radiated that electromagnetic signal towards the radar system. Okay, so whenever that re-radiated or reflected by the target, actually that signal is like this form. Okay, see here the signal is we are considering time on x-axis, the voltage on y-axis, and here we are having some threshold value. While keeping this threshold value, we need to remember some points in our minds. This threshold is not high value. If you put this threshold is a high value, it is not possible to detect the target, because the received echo signal is always the power level is at minimum levels, moderate levels. Okay, and it is if you that is the problem by choosing this threshold value is high, and if we choose this threshold value as low value, then noisy echo signals also crosses this threshold. That is also another problem. Analyze here. Actually, our target is aeroplane, but some other rain or some other mountains or any clutter objects are present in a space. Those also reflects signals towards the radar system. Those also received by the radar receiver. and those also included in this waveform. Okay, if you keep that as a low value, then that clutter or noisy signals also crosses the threshold level. Okay, and those also recognized as a virginal target, right? So that was actually the problem with this radar system, with this keeping a threshold value as a low. Okay, so you need to consider threshold value as moderate value, comparable value. It is not a high value, it is not a very low value. Okay, so Seema, here you are observing the 3 points here, A, B, C. Okay, actually see here, actually this is the received echo signal plus noise. Whenever you are transmitting an electromagnetic wave towards the target, there is no noise. You are transmitting original signals, right? But whenever you are receiving an echo signal, the signal is a combination of noise. Here, this explains about RMS value of that noise. Okay, so see here point A. This crosses the threshold value. That means there is no doubt this is identified as target. Whereas coming to B, it is not crossing the threshold value, but it is it approaches the threshold value. It is equal to the threshold value. Okay, it is detected as target B. Okay, but actually it is not a target. Noise signal also reaches the threshold level in some cases, in some times. Okay, but radar system don't have an intelligence now. Whatever the signal, whichever signal is crossing the threshold value, then it takes that signal as a target. Okay, but B is not actually a target. Assume like that. B is not a target. This is a noise signal. This is having a signal power equal to the threshold power level. So it reaches to the threshold level. It is identified as a target. And assume here, actually C is our original target. C is another original target. Okay. So, because of noise influence, it is not having enough power level to reach the threshold level. Okay. Okay. So, this is not reached to threshold level. Okay. So, radar system declares it as no target is present here. So, this type of detection is called as missed detection, right? Actually, this is called valid detection, where this is actually a original target and it crosses the threshold level and it is identified as target by the radar system. Identified a target by a radar system. Okay, this is called valid detection. Okay, where actually this is not a real target, but because of noise power levels, it reaches to the threshold level. So it identified as the target B by a radar system. This is called as false alarm. This is called as false alarm because it is identified as target, but originally it is not a target. Okay, because of noise power influence, it is identified as target. So in such case, this is called as false alarm. Actually, this is our original target, but because of low power levels, it is not reaching the threshold level. Okay, so that's why it is called as missed detection. I'm explaining here 3 concepts: valid detection, false alarm, missed detection, right? So whatever maybe the person asked in your exam, you need to mention all these concepts while asking about a minimum detectable signal or valid detection, missed detection, false alarm, missed detection. Actually, this is called missed detection, false alarm, and this is called valid detection, right? I think you got the concept clearly. And what do you mean by a receiver noise? Actually, whenever our radar signal is transmitted into a free space, some of the noise, atmosphere noise, and some other clutter noise is going to influence our transmitted signal. Okay, right? So, in addition to that transmitted signal or in addition to that noise, some other noise is going to influence, some other noise which is generated receiver itself. I'm repeating the line here. The noise which is generating receiver itself. You may have a doubt, how the noise is generated by a receiver, because a receiver is nothing but an electronic device. No, in an electronic device, the motion of electrons, movement of electrons is taken place. Okay, with the movement of electrons, definitely there may be a thermal noise, because thermal noise is nothing but the noise which occurs due to the movement of motion of conduction electrons. Okay, and which is denoted with the letter Ni, which is equals to KT naught Bn. Okay, so here receiver noise is nothing but the noise which is generated receiver itself. Okay, most probably the receiver noise is a thermal noise. That thermal noise is nothing but due to the movement of conduction electrons, and it is denoted with the letter Ni, and it is given as KT naught Bn. Okay, where we know that K is Boltzmann constant, which is having a constant value 1.38 into 10 power minus 23 joules per degree, and T naught is the absolute temperature, which is equal to 2900 Kelvin, and Bn is the receiver bandwidth, right? Now we'll see the figure of merit of this radar system. Okay, see, it's very easy and simple concept. Now we will see how the figure of merit is derived for a radar system. Okay, it's a common definition, general definition for figure of merit, where figure of merit is denoted with the letter capital F. It is nothing but the ratio of input signal to noise ratio to the output signal to noise ratio, and mathematically it can be represented as F is equals to signal to noise ratio of input by signal to noise ratio of output. Okay, so here I am writing that signal to noise ratio. Actually, wait a second.